I was trying to record now, so I've started recording. So meet our speaker, Titilayo. And where is our intro now? My laptop is frozen again. Sorry about that. Technology is not very friendly to me today, but we are more than conquerors. It's still frozen. Has it moved yet? Not yet.
No.
Titilayo, it's your face will be staring at today. Oh. Your beautiful face.
We can see her now.
Do you want to reshare it maybe to come up? Can reshare the slide.
So can you see it now? Is it better now? Okay, thank you. Titi, we are going to read your profile, whether or whether. Okay, so Titi Layo is a dual qualified solicitor in Nigeria and England and Wales. She started a distinguished legal career a long time ago, and you are back in Nigeria, and she holds a diploma in preventing and tackling domestic and sexual abuse. She's a graduate of Daystar Leadership Academy. She serves as a board member at Tikva Sanctuary, also a community interest company like ours. So beyond the legal expertise and of course the boardroom, Titilayo is a passionate advocate for women's empowerment. And through her work in West Wales, where she resides, she has supported a lot of domestic abuse services, NGOs, and CIC, and she's worked alongside a lot of women to help them in this journey, the survivors, and to also help them to rebuild their confidence and reclaim their wholeness. She is a life coach, she's a public speaker, and of course, a woman of faith. Titilayo is um level of emotional intelligence. I'm not, this is off the script now. She is a very wise lady, and I'm privileged to know her, and I'm grateful. We are blessed in Brook Sparkle Project to have you on this call. So I will stop reading this, and I want you to just please show us some love in the chat box, emojis, and everything. I'm going to stop sharing this particular slide and bring up our own slide. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everyone, for the warm support and for the warm welcome. So I think you're trying to bring up my slide, right? And I think before that comes up, thank you, everybody. And I think this is and thank you, Toyosi, for doing this. It's actually a good thing. It's actually a great thing, and we want to see more of this. Because especially this topic is a topic that when people hear about domestic abuse, it just triggers something in them, or people just don't want to talk about it, or people feel, oh, the only people that can talk about domestic abuse is maybe people that have really gone through domestic abuse. In fact, when people see me talk about it or this thing, I've even with this program, I've had a lot of people that are concerned, are you okay, and everything. But that is why this kind of awareness is very good. We need to start doing it. We need to talk more about it. We need to put it in our faces because some people genuinely don't even know. And some people who even think they're being abused in a way could also be an abuser themselves because of some things that they are not aware about. And so that is why I really appreciate TRC for doing this and for what the CIC company, what you're doing is great. You guys do a lot. I know you guys do a lot for your community. Winter, what's the name of that program you do actually?
Winter drive, winter warmth drive.
Yeah, so they do this winter period drive for people to work. So very good, and we thank God for that. So I think she's still trying to bring my slide up, and because I brought in someone to talk today. Her name is Abigail, and thankfully she's joined us already. Abigail is someone that I respect her a lot, and the day we met was supposed to be like my last day in the place we met. So it was just a shared love that I met her. And so she's someone that she's really, her story is one thing that I would love everybody to hear and listen to. And she has always agreed to say, Titi, anywhere you want to talk, I'm always willing to come and talk. And because she doesn't have a lot of time to stay to the end of this program, and so I'll prefer to talk now before I do my own talk. So Abigail is just going to be sharing her story, and the reason why I think she needs to share her story and people to hear her story is because when people hear about domestic abuse, the only thing they see is maybe violence, beating, huge face, and everything. So people don't really focus on the other aspects that are really very painful, and those are things people actually go through that can cause mental breakdown, emotional breakdown, and a lot of things. And that is why, so hearing Abigail's story can bring another perspective and dimension to us, see what people actually experience. That if you don't understand what domestic abuse is, you might think it's not really a big deal. And these are the real issues people are going through. And so I would like to bring up Abigail to talk now because she needs to leave so that she can share her story with us. If you have any question after Abigail's story, don't worry, I can answer most of those questions, or if you want to know some other things. But I would like to bring Abigail up now to speak and share her story with us. Thank you. Hi, Abigail. Are you there? Can you unmute and talk? We can't hear you. Now she has gone on mute. Hello, Abigail.
Hello, Titi. How are you?
Yes, now the floor is yours now. And
Yeah. I'm sorry you can't see me because I don't want to mess up with this, technology thing. It's it's not good with me. So I said to myself, if I want to tamper with it, you might lose me, like. So how are you, ladies? How are you?
fine. I think it's a mixed crowd. So we have men here, which I actually like, because when we talk about domestic abuse, people think it's just from man to woman. So it's a mixed
Okay.
crowd. So we have men,
Okay.
which is beautiful. So our men
Okay.
can also listen. Thank you.
Okay. So I would rather say, how are you, everybody?
Well, thank you, Abigail.
All right. So my name is Abigail, and I'm here because I was in an abusive and controlling marriage. My husband isolated me, monitored my actions, and made me feel afraid to speak up. Over time, I lost confidence in myself and felt trapped. Joining this Zoom meeting is a step toward healing. I want to share my experience, and then I wanted even to listen to others and learn how to rebuild my strength, boundaries, and sense of self in a safe, supportive space. It was I came here in UK in 2020, and I was living with my husband in North Wales. So I did not know that I was in an abusive marriage, until I understand that, I'm living with my husband. This is not right. If I keep on living with him doing his actions, I think I was going to die. Anyway, I was going to die because um I've got diabetes, high blood pressure, but I survived. So I did not do everything by my own, but I was referred until I met beautiful lady Titi, who she referred me to the organization here in North Wales that supported me until what I am today. So I would like to thank Titi very much. You know what? When I talked to her, and she said, I would love to support you, but now I'm working here. I'm doing my degree, and I said, I said to myself, this woman is so kind. It's like I wanted her to support me in everything. But anyway, I'm very happy because she referred to me to the best organization that supported me. Yeah. So when I started living with my husband, it was like I can say I lived with him like 1 year, 5 months. I didn't live with him so long because he was treating me badly. He was treating me badly. And he used to say, you came here to UK, your salary is not yours. So he was taking everything and I was left with nothing until I decided to have support. He was treating me like hell, like somebody, like a maid. So I was not really happy in that marriage. He was like, in the first place when I got a job, they wanted all the details. So it was like time for COVID. I did not know how to apply for my bank account online. I didn't know that, but he knew, but he didn't want to help me. So he decided to give me his. He said, I've got another bank account. You can use my card. There's only £50 in there. Me not knowing it was his direct debit. So I said, yeah, it's my husband. What else can he do? I started using that card. But when I get paid, I think almost 700 to 800 is been taken away on direct debit. So I said to him, I'm being paid so much money, but I'm left with what is happening. I think you've got your direct debits that are coming in that account. And he said, no, 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 no. I don't know. I don't know what is happening. Me, I always pay my direct debits. I know he was lying to me. So I had to pay for his direct debits, I think for 6 months. And after that, when it's time for shopping, he was using my card as well. But to my surprise, he didn't want me to buy myself something that I wanted or a perfume. He never bought me a perfume since I started living with him here. But he had plenty of perfumes on the dressing tables. So one day there is a friend of mine who gave me a perfume. And you know what he said? He said, no, this perfume smells badly. I don't even want to smell it. And I said, oh, so you can buy one for me, but he didn't want to. I was so I don't have any words to say. Because whenever I hear like what you said, that domestic violence, to me it don't sound like a good word for me. So I think most women here, they don't, especially like in our country in Africa, they don't even they understand that word like domestic violence or domestic marriage. They are all in it until they die. There's another lady last week who was telling me about the abusive her husband was, and was saying, if you don't see me, you will see me. I will die. My children, my two children now are afraid. They're afraid of daddy when he comes from work. He's doing this to me. He's beating me. Then I said, you have to report this. You have to go to the police. She said, no, I don't have to go to the police. What about my kids? What about this? And she was saying, even when I'm talking to you on WhatsApp, I had to delete everything because when he comes to work, he's going to take my phone. But she changed the number. So she called me and said, this is the new number that I'm using. And I said, oh, how about your husband? He said, no, now we are so far so good. So I know she's afraid to get support or to report to him. So, with my husband, he said to me, I think we are not meant for each other. So he kicked me out of his house. Then I had to report to my manager. So my manager said, can I look for an apartment for you to rent? Then I said, yes. So she looked one for me. Then I had to go when he was on. I just lied to him that tonight I'm working on nights, and he said, since when? And I just said, no, I just picked a night shift because I wanted to go to my house during the day when he's at work. So when he came back home in the evening, he couldn't find me, and he asked me, and I said, no, you kicked me in your house, and you said you have to leave this house by end of March 2022. That's why I had to go. And he was saying, no, you know what? Every man and woman, they have fights, I will have to talk to you. So I was just living 5 minutes from the where I used to work. And it was like 15 minutes from his house. So I knew he was going to search for me. Then I had to tell him that I'm living here. So he came to my house and he said, oh, so you've got a beautiful house. So now I have to come here to take your bags, to pack your bags, and we have to go back home. And I said, no, I can't. So he started coming to my house every day to sleep at my house, and he's going back to his house. Then one day we were watching a movie on the television, and it was like someone was murdered. And you know what he said to me? He said to me, if you murder someone here in UK, they don't even, you can get a sentence for 5 years and you get out of the prison. They don't sentence you to death. So I was so afraid, and I said, this man is not coming back for love. I think he just want to do something. So I started to look for, that's where I met Titi, because I was so afraid. I was so afraid to live with him again. So when Titi referred me to the organization, that organization, they said to me, when do you want to come here? And I said, as soon as possible. So they sent me a ticket. They sent me the location. I didn't even give notice to my boss or to my landlady. They said that you just come, don't tell anybody. That's what I did. Then I had to come to live here in North Wales. So when he came back home, he couldn't find me. Yeah, I talked about it. So when he came, there was no one. So he started looking for me. And the lady that I had to see, she said, now you're living here in North Wales. You have to switch all those contacts that know your husband. Even your husband, you have to block him. He mustn't know where you are. And I said, it's okay. So I got my papers just 2.5 months. After 2.5 months, I unblocked him. Then there were plenty of messages. I'm sorry, you are my wife. Yeah, he was saying so many things. But until now, he doesn't know where I live because I'm afraid for him, he might come. That's where I survived. That's where I survived to be what I am today. Thank you. I think that's all.
Thank you.
Because if I start my my journey, it will end tomorrow. You know it, Titi.
Yes, yes. And thank you so much, Abigail, for doing this. I even hearing this story again, even though I am aware of everything, even though we started together, hearing you narrate it again, you know what, is even just touching some part of me. Like,
Yes,
no
yes,
one
yes,
should go through this.
yes,
And
yes. You
thanks for
know, one thing, when you don't know where to start, I ended in England. I didn't know England, Titi, because I just Googled the lawyer who can help me with all these things. So I got there in England. It was like 4:45 at his office. And he just say, you have to pay 3,000 for me so that I can do everything for you. And I deposit 556 56 for my BRP because my husband took my BRP for me to go home and not to come back. But he referred to me now to you, to your organization. And to you, when I explained everything, you say, I would love to help you, but you need to go to North Wales. And I wanted you to help me, honestly, Titi. I wanted to.
But I'm happy you got the help. And Abigail, if you still want to stay on, we would appreciate that in case some people wants to do this. But if you have to go, I'm really happy you agreed to do this for
Yes, yes, yes.
us.
You can finish the whole story because you know it's a
Yeah,
long story.
exactly. And I'm going to share it as I'm doing my presentation for people to understand the context. Because some of
Okay.
the things you mentioned are things that people do every day in their lives. And
Yes,
when we point that there's some form of abuse, like you rightly said, where we come from, Africa,
yes.
what, this thing, and some of the questions you had in your mind, you were doubting,
Mhm.
like, well, is my husband and all. But then
Yes,
again,
yes,
you felt like, no, this is not right. And no,
yes.
this cannot be a normal life. No, this
Mm-hmm.
cannot be how I'm going to live my life just because
Exactly.
I came to UK, just because my husband brought me on his visa, then I have
Yes,
to live forever. In fact, part of Abigail's story is that she was cut off telephone calls, like she wasn't able to call out.
yes, yes,
Yes, like she wasn't able to call out. She slept with her passport in her pocket. So
yes.
yes, you can see I remember everything.
You remember everything. Yes,
Passport, when she's going out, she's always with her passport because of fear that it's going to be taken away from her. And then her BRP was taken away from her, a lot of it.
yeah.
So
Until I gave it to my boss at work.
to keep for her and everything.
Mm.
And in between all of this, there was a lot of guys lighting, there was cheating,
Mhm.
and there
Yes,
was still
yes.
a lot that if you want to live long, nobody should go
Mm.
through this. If you want to live a good life, because what I say is that we have just one life, this one single life,
Exactly,
and there is
exactly.
no trial and error. Like, okay, if I don't do it well now, or maybe
Yes,
the mistakes I make now, I will now do it better in my next life.
yes, yes.
No.
You know, he didn't stop by that time when he first came to visit me to my new house. He took another document for me, my ID from home.
Yes.
It disappeared. And all the folder that had my birth certificate, everything, he took them again. So he was not coming for love. That's why I decided that this man would kill me if I keep on living with him.
And
Honestly.
thank you for running. And that's why you're alive today to share your story.
I'm alive today. I'm going to college. I'm doing my access to nursing. I'm very happy. I'm living in a council flat. Everything is okay with me. So I can't even take him back. He's not a good man.
Yes, thank you so much, Abigail. You can mute yourself now while I take a short presentation I want to, then we can go to question and answer, then elaborate on it. So this domestic abuse we are all talking
Mhm.
about, what
Okay, thank you, Titi.
yeah, yeah, you can go on mute now. Thank you. So what is even this domestic abuse that we are all talking about? Because when people say domestic abuse, what comes to people's mind is violence, or someone has been hit in the face, or yeah, which is all part of it, but that's domestic violence. But what is domestic abuse actually? Domestic abuse is abuse that happens in the domestic space. And what is the domestic space? Within family. And also, domestic abuse is more than just between husband and wife. Domestic abuse happens between siblings, happens between um, parent to children, children to parent. Is a lot, and there's more to it. But because of what I think Toyosi wants me to focus on is majorly between relationship, because there's also the part of female genital mutilation, there's a part of forced marriage and all that and all that. But we're focusing on relationships, and that is why I've put this. Please, this presentation, because when people hear about one woman coming to speak about domestic abuse, they feel one is one bitter woman that hates marriage, or does not like men, or this or that, or just we're telling people to leave their homes at the slightest provocation, or this. No, what we're doing is to know what is right from wrong and treat ourselves better. Know how to have healthy relationships with ourselves. Know that even you, if you do some things and you obviously know that someone is not feeling it, someone is not happy with it, then you know that if you have crossed the boundary. So what this program today is not to encourage divorce or separation, or like trying to tell you that at every now you see maybe you've asked him for money yesterday, he did give me. He has abused me. No, that's not what we're talking about here. It's for empowerment, it's for awareness. And it's not to judge others or point fingers to say that woman, I have told that to leave that man, he did not leave that man will be killed. It's for you to know how you can support others that you even know might be going through this. And of course, yes, I'm a solicitor, I'm a lawyer. This is not illegal advice. If you have a personal issue and you're going through this, it has to be done on a case by case basis. You will, because domestic abuse is very wide. It's not one case fit all. So we cannot finish everything on this one presentation. So, or maybe, and it's not a therapy or counseling session that you can book. I actually coach on emotional intelligence because what I realized, thank you. I know Toyosi mentioned that Titi is very good with emotional, but I had to also work on it because one thing I realized is that sometimes it starts from how we handle our emotions. It starts from how we view things and everything, but that is not what we've come to do here today. So if you want to book a session for that, that I do separately paid, but it will be it will I'll consider people from Brooks Sparkle Project. So but this is just to understand. And I've been like I was discussing with Teresa that I think discussing about domestic abuse should be what should be embedded in marriage counseling sessions before couples get married, because we've seen situations. What we have seen is that people only talk about it when they have gone through it, and a lot of people that talks about domestic abuse are people that are maybe victims, survivors, people that have or and then, so that when people talk about domestic abuse, some people be like, "Oh, why are you talking about domestic abuse?" Are you like, "No, no, no, we should not be there." If doctors can treat people that have malaria or cancer because they've been trained to, we should be able to talk about it, not because the person talking about it or because people that know about it or people that are because they are victim and then they tag them bitter or this thing. No, we are looking at it from a balanced perspective. If everybody is aware, if we train our children now on how to deal with people, how to have good relationship with people, how to handle their emotions, how to treat people, then we are raising a better society where we can have healthy relationships. Yes, we know that things do happen, relationships do break down, love do break down, but how do you divorce it from what you're feeling or what you've gone through? And then trying to tell people that there's help, there's support, just like what Abigail did. She came up like, no, this can't be my life. And God is support. Now she's thriving. Yes, she's thriving. Happy. Before, Abigail could not even send money home to her country because she married. Why? Because she's in husband. Or why? And yes, we know that there might be some other things, and nobody's claiming that the person that came out to say I've been abused is the perfect person, does not have their fault, because that's where people say, oh, no, that's not it. I've listened to men, I've listened to women, I've supported both. So I'm bringing it from a balanced perspective right now, and it's not to point fingers. So can you help me with the next slide? The next slide is not next sliding.
That was the technology. Oh. Oh, Christ. Okay, so maybe I'll take it off what's it called? Slideshow and then do it all over again.
Let me see if I can. You want to reshare, right?
Yes, I want to stop sharing
Okay.
and take it off from slideshow because I think it's freezing it's slowing down the.
Yeah, you can take it off from the slide. Apologies, everyone. Technology can.
So sorry, we would have to take
Yes,
it
you
off
can.
from slideshow and make it for it to be
Normal than.
seamless.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we see now?
Let me see. Not yet. I can only see myself now. I think it's coming up. Okay, so go to the next slide.
Yep. fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I think
So
that's
sorry, everyone, but we had to improvise some of the stuff that
yeah, we
was
know.
expected.
So I think I've mentioned this part about what speaking on domestic abuse is about. So it's about one, believing the survivor. So if someone comes to you or if someone mentions that they think they're going through this, that is not when to start saying, what did you do to you too? What did you do? What did you abuse him? Did he abuse you? That's not when to. It's about first believing and validating their feelings and focusing on the abuser's choice to use power and control and offering specific support and resources. If we can listen to Abigail's story, one thing we can pick out is power and control. So the husband brought her to England. He already feels he has that power, like bringing you to UK. You When you ever dream of coming to abroad, brought her to UK. Power. Then removed every form of support from her. In fact, part of what Abigail went through was she didn't have access to money before she started working. Her husband was not giving her any money because she wasn't working. So the guy feel that's fine. He covers all the expenses in the house. So she wasn't allowed to use the phone, do anything, just stay at home, cook, and then lie down when it's time to do the other room. And just more like you've come to just help me here as my house help, which is okay. And she wasn't even complaining till when she doesn't even have money to do anything for herself. Like she's going on the road, she wants to buy £1 biscuit, she cannot. And she has husband who is actually earning well. He has a good job. We're gonna like just keep that because I know that part. He has. It's not like maybe he has a good job, and he's also even carrying other. But still, and she wasn't allowed to talk to people. She couldn't even talk to anyone because they feel like those are it. He wasn't beating her because I know that part of when someone say, I think I'm this thing, people say, does he beat you? Does he slap you? But he doesn't beat you. So what is it? We can say that. So the focus is on survivor's safety, needs, and decisions that must be respected. The next slide. So I think this is because I want to believe most of us on this platform live in UK. I think so. And so the focus is actually on UK laws, not Nigerian laws or any other country. But I know that Nigeria too, we're developing the laws around this domestic abuse. I know that Lagos State is trying, but most of it is more reactive rather than proactive. So what we should be doing is now we have to be proactive about it. It's not until now you can take it to Lagos State. So this is the definition and the recognition of it. It includes various abusive behavior among intimate partners and family members. I think I mentioned this before. So a brother can be abusive to the sister at home. And I think also if we have other parents, sometimes we parents encourage it, like your elder brother is beating the younger brother every time, and we think, he's trying to instill some discipline. No, it's not in their jurisdiction. The parent is supposed to be the one to put discipline. Yes, the brother can be firm and put them in line, but when it involves violence, it's also a form of abuse. And we've seen a lot of children that usually complain about this because when you don't work in this space or see these things, you don't understand what is on the other side, because that is why some children even become they are resentful. They don't want to go home when you ask them. They don't feel safe in their house, and a lot of that. So it's a pattern of behavior between partners, between siblings, and because it's domestic, these are the things we classify as private issues that must not go out, private things happening inside the house that nobody should know about it, things that are supposedly to be kept within the confine of the four walls of the home. But then before, years back, there was not really touchlight on this because people feel family members do love themselves, intimate partners love themselves, so whatever they do to themselves shouldn't be a big deal. Before, we started seeing a lot of issues when people now are getting more vocal, then the word of social media, then people killing themselves, then a lot of things needs to be done. parents beating up their children, children beating their parents. Yes, it's also I've, I've had that instance. It's also a form of abuse and all. So the Domestic Abuse Act is to offer protection and legal resource to victims of domestic abuse in the UK. So it involves emotional, coercive, economic control, physical abuse, and all. The next slide. I'm trying to move very, very fast so that we don't. So now here's the deal, the misconception about it. A lot of people feel, I think I've mentioned the physical abuse, domestic abuse is only physical until someone slap you, someone eat you, or throw something at you and everything. No, that's not the only thing. So it could be emotional, psychological, financial, coercive control, even a level of disrespect. And people say it only happens within some demographics, like maybe poor families and certain families, like those of us, if you live in Lagos, maybe it only happens in Makoko where we see people fight with this thing. No, it happens everywhere. You'll be shocked. It's just maybe the level of it is a bit, maybe you see the ones, it happens in every, the rich, the poor, it's just that, people say it's better they cry inside the, what they call it, is it Bentley now, right now, if I this thing, but it's not
Yes,
better to
Bentley.
cry in anything at all, because that can lead you to hell grave. So it happens everywhere. Then people say it's a private family matter, nobody should put their mouth. No, if you're abusive, if you're a perpetrator, it's a crime. And I think this is where people mix it up. When you're coming from somewhere we all come from, that you will go to the police and report to the police. Or maybe you are fighting and the police comes and then it's husband and wife fight. Leave them alone. They will go and settle this at home. And we've seen instances here that some women, out of frustration, or men would call the police to intervene. But after a while, maybe family members are now coming to say it's okay and everything, or maybe you just felt this is my husband, I'll forgive. Then they will now want to tell the police that no, we are not fighting again. Police say no, unless maybe there's really no valid thing to all those two, and maybe want of diligent prosecution. Police can make cases even if you are not interested in that case. Even if you say you are not doing again, or you want to take back your report, if police sees that there is some level of abuse, life is in danger, some issues are here, they can prosecute. So let us not say it's just a private family matter. It is a crime that affects the social problem and affects the entire community. Next slide. So with that, we will know how to deal with ourselves within the four confines of our home. Another misconception, children are not affected. Woo! Children are majorly affected. So sometimes when you see some children fighting outside, some children always bullying each other, most times check what they see inside the house. It is not far-fetched. Yes, it's okay to, I'm not saying couples don't have arguments. It's okay to have LD arguments. And even the children learn how to see how you can argue healthily without having to abuse each other, call each other names, strike each other, and everything. Children are affected. It affects them the most. Most of them go to school to tell their teachers stuff. You don't want to know what teachers know about your house. So you don't want to know what teachers know about what is going on. And that is why sometimes you'll be like, oh, people say, oh, why are they attacking the Black community? Why are they doing this? No, teachers have the right to safeguard. So if a child comes to school, even if it's to say, how are you looking today? Your face is not looking good. I'm not happy because my daddy and my mommy is fighting. They will look into it. So you have that obligation to ensure. So they will say that those children are not in a safe environment. You are not beating them. You are not eating them. But they are not in a safe environment if they are witnessing the way you talk to their mom with so much disrespect, the way you talk to their dad, the condescending, the way everybody shouts on each other and children are watching. They say it's a toxic environment. So it affects children. And then that only a particular gender can be abused, or it only happens between partners or heterosexual relationship. No, man can be abused. I've known, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, I sat with a woman that was discussing his issue and also telling me about his friend that committed suicide. It's a long story. We don't want to go there. So it can affect both parties. And also, it's not only between man and woman. It happens, I mean, when it comes to relationship now, it happens between same-sex marriage. It's even worse. So that is why we need to be less judgmental about people or what people are going through. The last time I someone reached out to me, and you know what? I don't know. She reached out to me, and when she was talking, just out of my own unconscious bias, I already said, "Oh, so what did he?" And he just said, "No, we are in a same-sex marriage." I just had to use Holy Spirit to say, help me here, so that I don't change my face and all. Because, but you know what? I'm happy that I was able to support her, and she felt relieved and because no matter what, no matter our conviction, no matter what we believe personally, nobody is susceptible to abuse or to be killed or to anything. So anybody that we can help, we should try to help. And the importance of dispelling this myth is that we need to have empathy and a supportive environment so that victims can come out. Because a lot of people don't talk about it, don't want to mention it, because they already fear of what will people say? Or what if I go back? Or I don't want to people to portray my partner in a light like that, or I don't want to see. And this is not like a note of warning, but just to mention it. That is where emotional intelligence comes out. If you are supporting someone, or yes, it's a dynamic relationship, it's a two-way relationship. If someone comes to you to tell you some things about their private life or some things they are going through, and out of your own, because you are worried for the person, you want the person to be alive, you want the person to thrive, and maybe your own way of advising, do this, do that, do that, do this, and they don't do any of the things. In fact, the next day they've uploaded the same picture of the person that they reported them. It's not in your place to start thinking, well, you will kill each other, or start judging. No. Or you cannot force people to make a decision, because if you force them to make a decision, you are now taking away that control that the person at home is making them go through, away from them. However, note of warning: if you are aware that is now getting out of control, now you have the responsibility of to safeguard. You have to safeguard. And when I mean safeguard, you must ensure that you do the right thing by either reporting to the right authority. Because if someone tells you about maybe an injury, someone tells you about beating, in that is the place where you can't mind your business. You don't have to go and carry them from their house. You don't have to go and help them fight their partner. We don't have to help them fight about their partner or any other thing, but you have to do the right thing by ensuring that maybe you call the police or anonymous call, or try to call people around them that this person needs support. So when life is involved or danger is this thing, you have to do something about it. Next slide. Now let's talk about this. I love to talk about this a lot, and it's about types of domestic abuse. I know what we are used to is the beating parts. That's what everybody knows and all. There's physical or sexual abuse. Physical abuse is the eating, violence, and all, no matter how small. See, I know that some people will say, "Oh, it's just this thing. We're just playing with each other. It's just a slap." The moment the other party or your partner is not comfortable with what you're doing and you continue, then it becomes an abuse. The moment they have complained that don't do this anymore, I'm not finding it funny. Don't think, but if you think to you it's not a big deal, if it's a big deal to them, then you have to respect that. And then when it comes to sexual abuse, we know that, oh, yeah, I want to believe most of us or some of us are Christians. We are one in Christ. Your body is my body is your body, and everything. It does not mean that you should use the body anyhow. The owner of the body, if the owner of the body says no, no is no. Because even in marriage and in UK, there's a marital rape, and it's a crime. So it's about learning to also control yourself and your body and respecting your partner's wishes and also finding the right way to this thing. So sexual abuse does not only stop at maybe having intercourse, it's also everything. Even within the home, some parents abuse their children abuse each other and all. So that's part of it. And there's violent or threatening behavior. And this is violent behavior is shouting, like there's no peace around you. Everybody should be able to come to a peaceful and safe home. You should be happy going home, whether children, whether wife, whether husband. You should want to finish your day and say, oh, I can't wait to get home, because you feel safe at home. You feel loved at home. Even if there's a disagreement on ground, you know how to manage it, you know. So violent behavior, like throwing things, you're hungry, you are throwing things, you breaking things, is an abuse. Or that's you even wasting money, like because you are hungry, you carry the TV, you smash it on the floor just to get back at the man. It's not a good behavior. It's not a right behavior. Or you spoil things and you say you are hungry. No, you are committing a form of crime. And threatening behavior. This behavior is one thing that we found that was really prevalent between us that we migrated, especially when it comes to main applicants and dependents. That some people will say, because I brought you here, and then they start using that to say, I can send you back, I can do this because I'm the main applicant, is an abuse. Whether I'm not saying someone is doing it better than the other, or a gender is being, whoever that is doing it should stop. It's not. And if someone comes to you to say, I'm the main applicant, and he's on my this thing, I can remove him anytime. If he does anything that I don't like, you need to let the person know, no, that is not right. If you guys have issues, try and sort your issues. Don't use because you now have the power, upper control power, then you think you can use it. Excuse me, then you think you can use it to, because what you do with threatening behavior is to use that power you think you have to make people respect you, or to make people do what you want them to do, not really what they think it is the right thing to do. And it's an abuse, which moves us to controlling or coercive behavior. Controlling behavior is very subtle sometimes, and people don't get it. Like, it could move from, oh, he loves me so much, he doesn't want me around any other person. And some people, because it's a lot to really unpack, which we can't finish. Some people, maybe because of trauma bonding and everything that they need to heal from, they feel is a norm. But is you yourself, the other party, the moment the other party started to feel like, I'm choked, I can't even breathe. Part of a coercive behavior, even if it's not violent, is maybe your wife wants to go out with her friends. She's been at home with you all day. She has done everything. And she says, I want to go out with my friend. Sometimes that is when you will now remember that, let's watch film together. It's not because you actually want to watch it, it's because you just don't want her to go out. Yes, that sometimes you need to spend nice time together and everything, but sometimes everybody wants to breathe. Or even if it's the husband, like, you can't go, you have to be with us. No. Everybody is an adult that needs that level of, you have to be independently before you are even good to come together. Or maybe your the woman went to the cinema to watch film, you will not let her rest, you nothing. Or maybe it's when the woman wants to, that's when you go and bring flower, because that flower symbolizes, oh, I love you. But no, that's not the intention. The intention is actually not to be able to allow that person to do what the person will do. Sometimes it's been misconstrued, it's because of love. No, we know when it is love, we know when it has turned to a level of subtle of control. And also there's economic abuse. This one is a very sensitive one, this economic abuse, especially in this foreign land that we find ourselves. We know a lot of homes, because of the finance pressure and the change of dynamics, some women maybe back home in Nigeria, they were not really the one working, or not like they're not working, but like there's no financial obligation like that. Most men are the ones doing the financial part, and the women keeps the home or this thing. But then we got to a place where two hands must work to keep the home running. But then someone's mentality is not changing to look at the reality on ground, and somebody is tired every day but still expects to do a lot of things, while the other person is saying, you don't know that I am. And then there's a lot of friction, a lot of coercion. And then because some people say, we are married, we are one, we have to control, because I'm not doing marriage counseling here, so I'm trying to pick my words. But we are married, we are one, we have to control, we have to join our finances together. See, if couples agree that we join our finances together and they are fair to each other, because what causes issue is that we join finance, someone is bringing 500 pound every day in the joint finance, someone is bringing 100 pound every day in joint finance. Yes, it's one money, it's fine. However, the person that is bringing 100 this thing is the one that the family, his own private family, personal family has issues today. There are certain bills in Nigeria tomorrow. Then the person that is bringing the bulk of money starts feeling like, this is our money. I'm feeling like you are not understanding it. Or one party, just like we heard Abigail's story, she said her husband collects her money. She's the one that has gone to do the work. The husband, I am the man of the house, bring all your money. Well, some women don't mind. I'm not whatever decision you try to make in your home, as long as it works well and both parties are happy, that is the core. But emphasis on both parties are okay with it, not one party thinking, this is what I think will work for us in the house, and that is it. And that is why we have a lot of people complaining about it, people saying, people not being happy about it. You cannot, yeah, and in the UK system, every adult that is working should be able to control their own finance. That is why even couples, when you are doing maybe a mortgage or something, they will ask for both parties credit score. And so that is why both parties need to build it, meaning that you both must have how you spend the money and manage the money. But if maybe because of family dynamics, you think my husband can manage our money better than we do, but both parties agree, that's a different ball game. Or my wife can manage money better than we do, that's a different ball game. But one party saying that I'm in charge of our money, but you are not even fair in the way, it's not like you're even spending most of the money and everybody is aware and both parties are agreeing to it and you're happy. But no, you collect the party's money, you do it the way you like because you think you're the head of the home or you're in charge of the home. That is where the abuse is. Or the person even now wants to do something for themselves, they are not able to do it, they have to come to you to ask for excuse. This is what happens mentally. And you know, when people say it, and people say, oh, you don't want to submit again, don't let me go there. But I hope you understand. Then the psychological, emotional, and tech abuse. I think I've spoken about the emotional abuse. Emotional abuse involves also keeping malice. It's okay to want to like keep quiet for some time, walk away for some time, and everything. But when you have now used it as a weapon to make the other person do your bidding, it's an emotional abuse. Or neglect. Neglect means that you leave your family, you go out, you go and do whatever you like, you come, you have someone staying inside the house, you don't even talk to each other, you don't even say, just because you think it's part of emotional abuse. And people do, these are the abuses people don't see. You can't see it. But sometimes you will see that some people, they look so happy, but in within, they are not. They are mentally not there. And now let me come to tech abuse. Tech abuse is, I know maybe people are couples, they love each other, but tech abuse is one, stalking. If you are stalking your partner, is an abuse. Your partner cannot breathe, cannot drop phone and read. It's an abuse. You're always trying to check, who did you call, who did you this, who are you talking to, or what everybody is an adult. If you've gotten to a stage where you cannot trust what your partner is doing, maybe you should be going for counseling sessions. because you chose this person to marry this person. And I think part of why you married each other is because we love each other and we can trust each other. But if you are beginning to see some signs that some things are going on here, instead of you turning yourself to an abuser and you start putting something on someone's phone to monitor them, or you start going on to their social media pages to be checking who they are talking to, what they are doing, why do you use it, or even women, because I know my gender, we also do this a lot. Or you hire a private investigator to this thing. Some people say they're using it to protect their own whatever they've worked for, but it's not. It's an abuse. If you know that you've gotten to that stage in a relationship that you have to do that, possibly you need to call that marriage and see what are we actually doing here before you before you turn yourself into what you are not, and then you unconsciously become a perpetrator or an abuser. Let's move to the next slide. I think these are what I have actually spoken about is just to some examples of what psychological abuse is about: name calling, threats, manipulation, blaming you for the abuse or gaslight. Let me explain this. So you say that is because of what you said to me, that is why I slapped you. But that same thing that they said to you inside the house, they will say it to you outside, but you cannot slap. You cannot blame your partner for your behavior. Yes, it could trigger some things, but you are responsible for how you react. So if you can hold yourself outside, or if a soldier even comes to you and you can hold yourself outside and not misbehave, that pattern of behavior should also be done inside the house. We should not now say because it's now private, I can do what I can do, and now be saying that I can slap anybody, I can do what I dare. Or you spend the money that is meant to keep the home going. Even I'm not even talking about men alone here, or women. Maybe the money for this, you went to buy the new hair or something, and then your gaslighting is a joint thing. Nobody should be blamed. So anyone that is being abused cannot be blamed for what you did to them. You are to blame for your own reaction or whatever you did. If you raise your hand at someone to slap someone, you can't say you slapped the person because the person made you angry, because it's not the person that raised their hand. Yes, some people say, what if I'm trying to defend myself? Yeah, you can defend yourself and maybe to get the person off you, and then you go out to safety or something. Not defending yourself and both of you start exchanging punches and you are still saying you are defending yourself. Yeah. But and it goes both ways, whether man or woman. So if it's not the person that raised your hand or do anything to you to eat them or use their mouth and make, you can't blame. So that is out of it. Economic abuse, I think I've spoken about that. Controlling your access or money or resources, meaning that the abuser will take your wages, stop you from working, or put you in debt. I think these three is part of what Abigail mentioned. One, the ex-husband asked that her salary be paid into his account, and because of the trust and love she has for the husband, which is a normal thing, why not? It's my husband. But apparently that account is already in deficit. Like there are a lot of debts in that account. So immediately her salary is paid into the account. Pew, 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 it goes. No explanation, no accountability. But she has to keep quiet because why? She's married. She's a woman. She has to take it in. No, it gets to a stage where you can take it for some time, but not for so long. And then some people will say, because I don't want you to shred it, they stop some women from working. Yeah, if it's an agreement between the husband and man that you guys someone should stop working for now, maybe to take care of the home front and everything. If it's the woman that stopped working, the man has to be fair. The woman must know what is the finance of that house. The woman, the man must be open that this is what is coming in. I know you are not working because you have to take care of the home front, or you are not working for now because of whatever situation. This is what we have. She must be aware, and both of you are doing it together. Not like she's not working, stop that for working, but she doesn't even know whether there's money in your account for food tomorrow or anything. No. And also the other way around, if it's the man that is here to work that is not working, that is not when the woman will say, my money is my money. No. If it's a joint effort and you guys respect each other's decision and you're working together, I think that one works. I think I've spoken about sexual abuse and tech abuse. Tech abuse is sending abusive text. This one, you can say that, but later we deleted the sending abusive text or getting access to someone's phone without their permission. Yes, if couples have each other's password and it's a mutual thing, why not? If couples share each other's this thing is a mutual thing, why not? But if it's that you have to do it behind the back, if it's that you have to do it and the person is not but you have to video someone that the person is not aware, if it's that you have to take people's picture, that is now is a crime. There's nothing about crime of this is a crime. And so it's not even about like, oh, you are the people on this meeting are doing it or something. It's just to create the awareness, and so that when people talk about it, just don't say it's flimsy. If you don't feel safe, if it's affecting you mentally, or someone is telling you that I feel like maybe my husband don't trust me, he keeps checking my phone, he wants to know who I'm talking to, he wants to follow me everywhere, he doesn't this thing. A part of also controlling behavior is to restrict people, isolate people. It's part of it. It's an abuse. Move to the next slide. Thank you. How do you now recognize this pattern? Like controlling behavior is a common sign of abuse when one partner will dominate the other's actions and decisions. That's the controlling behavior. If one party, we have two people that are supposed to maybe love each other. If it's a Christian home, there's a dynamics like, okay, there's a Christian home, husband is the head of the house, the woman is this thing, but the Bible says we should love each other and serve each other. It's not like a king-servant relationship. No. In fact, Jesus served. So the leaders should even serve more. But I'm not preaching here. So where the coercive control comes where an abuser uses pattern to exert power and control, it is a criminal offense. I know that we say we're in the UK, everything is just sensitive, and it is a criminal offense. The moment the other party is not finding it funny, the moment the other party is complaining and start, you know what, if it was a good thing, Abigail would not be feeling like, is this love? Is this how things are supposed to be? And yes, like I say to people, see, the moment a partner is trying to know what you are telling, maybe anytime you're on the phone, and a moment then the partner is trying to know who you are talking to. I hope you are not talking about me. Every time, something is wrong somewhere. Because really, when a woman is so into the husband and the husband is so into the woman, they share a good bond and they know how to do their thing. They don't even want us, they don't want outsiders to know what's good. They want to protect that peace. So you should not be worried about who the person is talking to or what the person is saying. It is when you already know that there's a pattern of behavior, there's something I'm doing in this house that if this person says it to somebody else, they might pick some things from it, and then they say they are encouraging you, they will change your mind. No, that's an adult. Unless you married a child, you married an adult that has brain and everything to process things. So you cannot say because, this thing, then you have to. No. Everybody we can discuss, we can communicate effectively, we can do all those. And part of it, like I said, is isolation tactics. Isolation from friends, family. You know what is often used to weaken support networks and increase dependency on the abuser. That's it. I know we call it love somewhere, like, oh, my husband loves me so much, he doesn't even want me to leave his sight. I think I've mentioned it before. He doesn't even want me to step out. That's love. I pray it remains love, but is to an extent it could be isolation. That in a way, gradually, if you are not supported by people that genuinely loves you, like, no, I don't care if your husband don't want you to go out, or I don't care, or your sisters, or I don't care. Me, I'll call you. Me, I'll come and look for you. But if people that don't genuinely love you are around you and they see that you've withdrawn and everybody just abandons you, then all your support network, all the people that you can call that can maybe encourage you, support you, make you happy sometimes, is cut off. So you are 100% dependent on the abuser. So whatever the abuser does, before you know it, you are so used to that trauma that it's my life now. But genuinely in your mind, you know that something is wrong somewhere. So it's not a good relationship, it's an abuse if after marriage people can no longer talk to their family members, unless it's a personal decision that you think you are cutting off somebody from your life. No, but it should not be because, oh, you can't talk to this person, you can't talk to this person, should no longer be your friend, or this person, or you can't go out and hang out with your friends. Especially for some men, the wives will say, no, you can't go out and hang out with your friends, you have to be at home. No, everybody should be okay. God will help us in Jesus' name. Amen. Then threat and intimidation, I think I've mentioned that, so we can move on. Yeah. What are the effects of this thing? And this is part of what we need to see. What are the effects? It causes immediate and chronic mental and physical health problems for victims and their families. Yes, domestic abuse causes illness in people. I think I was talking with you about how domestic abuse, because it's internal, some people have carried a burden for so long. I don't know if the research is scientific, or some people have heard and I've seen people talk about it, about how it leads to cancer, because it's a burden. Is so it generates some bad toxins, and before you know it, people develop things they are not supposed to develop. Those are it. It has effect on relationships. If a partner will say you can't talk to your family members again, people cannot even speak to their parents, people cannot even talk to their friends, strained, or it breaks relationship, then children, then everywhere is just so tensed. You cannot talk to your father unless you get permission from daddy. You can is wrong. It's an abuse. That's not love, that's not protection. Or you cannot call your friends, or you are on the phone, your husband is coming or your wife is coming, you are panicking. Of course, I'm not saying when you are doing the wrong thing and you are hiding or you are cheating, that is often another abuse. Because if you are cheating, and you are using the money for the house to go, and it's a financial abuse, aside the trust that you are distant. But I'm not going there right now. But those are the issues. Victim often faces financial challenges that complicate recovery and contribute to legal time. And this is it. An abuser may try to hold your support, because they've cut you off from people that can give you that support. And then maybe most times that we've seen, except people that are very, very, very determined and intentional, they are weak. They don't even have any financial support. So they can't even live. From Abigail's story, what helped her was that she said, Abigail left the house one day and she was just walking around and she saw a care home and entered the place and just said, do you need, that was how she got her employment. I was going to work that was helping her mentally and talking to people, and she was like, hey, she's sure something is wrong somewhere. So this can't be it. But then again, she started the work, finance and everything was stripped off her, so that in case she wants to run, she won't be able to run. But because she has now gotten herself like a network, a bubble, those ones were able to help her. And that was how her own moving was fast. Some people are stalked. They can, and that is why they say, oh, I'm still, I don't know what to do. I'm saying, if I leave, this is. So those are the issues. Next slide. Thank you. Barriers to living, I think it's part of what I've just mentioned. Fear of emotional control. I know it's a lot because I've seen a lot of, when it comes to a woman living and the man, stalking. I've had to support someone that we had to get a police restraining order. The man will just come around anywhere the woman is. She doesn't feel safe. And sometimes they feel like if they leave, just like what Abigail has said, just like what Abigail has said, that she was scared of herself. And her ex-husband, it was when they were watching TV, she said, I think you heard that, when she said the ex-husband told her that, that in this UK, if you kill someone, they can't kill you too. They can only take you to prison. See, believe what people say. I know some people, some women will hear that thing and we still say, it's not talking to me. It's not about me. Believe what people say. And that was what made her like, hey, so what if this man kill me one day? Nothing will happen. Believe what people say. So, barriers for people living is fear for further harm or emotional manipulation, trying to turn it against them. That is because you disrespect me, it's because you do this, call family members, and those ones, a lot of that. Then financial dependency, someone that you've stripped off anything that can, this thing, they won't have a choice than to stay back. Then the big one, especially from us, social stigma and isolation. What will people say? People will say this, especially if the other party is someone that people like from outside. Like people like from outside that everybody, so automatically people will assume that it's the other person that is the problem. It can never be this woman that smiles a lot, or it can never be this man that is always helpful to people. This man is everything. Oh, the wife is so lucky. But inside the house, the wife knows that, oh my God. So those are it. And now, because of that, she wants to say, okay, let's see how to make it work. And then concerns for children, worries about children well-being and custody often complicate decisions to leave abusive environment. And especially, I've seen how custody degenerates to something so bad. Something so bad because people cannot remove their emotions. Like, this is happening between us. It doesn't have to affect children. So these are the barriers for people living. Next slide, so I can quickly wrap up. Yeah, next slide. So UK laws, yes, it's almost done. I think this is just the support. UK laws protecting victims of domestic abuse. The UK laws actually prioritizes domestic abuse victims. Like Abigail said, she got a council house. They put them on a higher band. But because of the immigration part of it, to some extent, it only works faster for people that maybe they were married to people that have ILR or they're already citizens. So with that, it helps them to, so maybe they came in on a spousal visa and the ex is, so it helps them to be able to quickly settle faster. And also part of what you can get is protection order. And then, so for if you don't feel safe and everything, police get involved, and then police will make a case. And then I've had a lot of cases where people actually would report, then again they take it back, then again they say I didn't mean it that way, then a lot of back and forth. But there's protection. There is if you want it, you can get it. But, and also, to the next slide. And I think, yeah, and these are, there are also, I think you've moved so fast. I'm trying to, all the protection there. Okay. Yeah, I think these are how to obtain legal support and protection orders, types of different protection orders, non-molestation, occupation and relating order. The rights, I think I've mentioned about emergency housing. There are some NGOs that do have refuge. They call it refuge. So, like, if you call the National Domestic Helplines, they will take you to refuge. But this is it. If you know that you are going through stuff and you know that you are not having it again, if you want to go to refuge, you have to abandon everything. It's not the one that you go to refuge, and when you get there, you will not see send number to the person that is perpetrating. They will evict you. At least we heard what Abigail said, that they will pick you like this. You don't have to pick anything. And it's just because of safety. And if the abuser is also abusing the children, there is child custody protection. And there's some immigration support rights. There's an immigration law actually support for people that are not on ILR or citizens and are still on skilled work visa, it might be a bit this thing on the immigration side of things, but there is the part where if there's domestic abuse involved, there's a part where you can apply. I've forgotten the name now for like a 3 months leave period to still stay in case maybe the person is taking you off their distance, but you can prove domestic abuse, not just to use it to get papers and lie that you are being domestically abused, because we've seen a lot of that right now, and which are not true. But if it's the situation, and even that, even with you being on another type of visa and the Home Office review your case, there's a possibility for them to also give you visa to stay. So that actually happens. And when it comes to that stage, you might have to talk to a lawyer and also move the next slide and also contact the NGOs. So how do you find your voice? There's so many support, and that's the thing I tell people, that you don't have to wait. There's so many support. Give us some NGOs. They can support you while you are still in that house with the partner. They won't let them know. You just, most of the NGOs that support domestic abuse around, you can never see their banner outside. Is well protected because of security. But if you call, they are the ones to give you the time to come and when to come in, so nobody would notice you, and then they can still support you whilst you are still in that this thing. So in case you need some safety and everything, it is out there to for them to save you while you are still there, if you are saying you are not ready to leave. Next slide. Things about support. I think those are the hotlines that are provided there. If you check online, you will see them. You can just call. It's just a call. And also there's this other available intersection. So for also for men is there. I've just put for different places, Scotland, Wales, and everything. That's Scotland. Move to the next slide. Then the role of the police and social workers. I know a lot of people are scared of social workers and this thing, but they're always there to help and support and everything. So if police are invited and they see that they're actually abused, if they review the case, and even if you say you are no longer interested, doesn't mean that police will still not go ahead and charge the perpetrator. So if you know that you are not sure, you just want is a current pain, and maybe if you talk to someone, you'll be fine. Maybe you should talk to a trusted friend or talk to someone that you just want to unlift something anyways. But if you know that it's not like I want to leave this person, and if you call the police, they will help you expand it more than this. However, please call the police, because I know that I've seen a lot of this is say, I don't want to call the police, so that they won't say I am the one that this thing. Please, we are talking about a matter of life and death, if that is the case, or a mental this thing. We don't want to get to a state that people are stabbing themselves inside the house, because at least we've seen a lot. And there is social services support that will support with emotional counseling, refer people and everything. And of course, if you contact the NGOs that support domestic abuse victims, they will give you a domestic abuse support worker that will support you, help you, counsel you. Then there's some programs that will say you should attend and all that. But still, the decision is yours to make. They are not going to force you to make any decision or do something that you
I think
don't
there's a
want to
bit of
do.
a glitch, City.
It's still about you, but they will still you how you want to be supported. They will take it more seriously. And okay,
Yeah.
let me get. Are we? Can I see this? Why come is minimized on my page? Hold on. Oh, okay. So next slide, please.
Okay.
I think we're about to round up now. It's about safety emergency. Okay, yeah, this is very important. If you don't feel safe, or if you feel this thing, there's something called creating a safety plan and practical steps to leave. You don't have to leave immediately. Or if you're advising someone, or how to say, just you can hear when Abigail said she goes everywhere. Abigail goes everywhere with her passport, so that in case So those are part of safety plans. You gather important like ID, money, essentials ready to for a quick departure. If you have friends or something around you that can provide safe location, you can still go and hide your head there, and then have an emergency contact of this that maybe you guys know. You can say that anytime I send you something like strawberry, you should know that there's fire on the mountain. Come and greet me. Or anytime, or come and knock on my door, or just call me. Anytime I send you orange, just, yeah, safety words that could, so that both parties know what they're doing. So have that, and then take practical steps to leave. The fear of the unknown sometimes keeps people like in bondage that they are not supposed to, and you then start bleeding on others. So there's you can accept counseling and emotional support. Sometimes you need to heal, you have to build your confidence. Then there's the emotional challenge part, of course, because if you've been with someone that you guys, what you promised each other was love, safety, healthy relationship, then it turns out to be it. You're first of all maybe disappointed in yourself, disappointed in the other person, and all that before. So you still have to go through all that. It's not like, oh, is it peasy? I'm leaving him or I'm leaving her, and no. You have to go through a process. But the first level of this thing is your safety, and that you are alive to heal and bounce back. The next slide, I think that should be the last slide. So rebuilding life after abuse and empowerment and healing is you regain your independence, and you can also help others. Like Abigail is helping others, joining me to speak at events. You can also go for maybe if there are some things you've been wanting to do, you have been unable to do, education and employment. Go for empowerment programs. Then have healthy and positive relationships. I know that maybe we come from where they will say, no, ah yeah, nobody should discourage you from leaving your wife. Nobody is discouraged from leaving your husband. You don't know what people are going through in their house too. It's not that it doesn't involve emotional abuse. It doesn't involve physical abuse. It doesn't involve financial abuse. When they say for better, for worse, is two people together that are going through maybe life challenges, whatever life throws at them. They are struggling through finance together, and both parties are working together to see how it works. Not one party putting the blame on the other person, or making it look like you are the reason for my tragedies, and then bleeding on each other, cursing out each other. No, for better for worse is going through life, or whatever life throws at us, in good health, in bad health, in when we have in abundance, when it's not so much, not in boxing, not in slapping, not in, oh, he's beating me, but they say marriage is for better for worse. He's causing my parents, and this in marriage is for better for worse. Or he doesn't give me money, collect all my money from me, that I'm not the one that gladly gave him that power to do, or this thing, or waste money. No, that's not what it's about. And then the last two slides, so we can run. So empower yourself to break free, or empower someone to break free. Talk to somebody. Knowing legal right is crucial for victims, and you seek your protection. Be able to identify. I'm not When we say identify abuse, it's not like at every little provocation you not no, no, no. We know that people have fights, people disagree, people this thing, but we all know when it has disintegrated into what is not supposed to be, and you all know the triggers. The last slide, I think I should be done now. Whew, okay, I've been talking for a long time. I think is now Q&A, if that is fine. Thank you everybody for listening to my very long talk.
No, it's
Thank
not
you.
long. Thank you so much, Titi. It's been very insightful. It's been empowering, and I don't know if anybody on this call feel the same way that I feel. So can we show some love to Titi and just tell her thank you for sharing? It's been very encouraging, and for people to know that number one, it's not one-sided. The myth is that it's, oh, the woman that can abuse, or the man, some people have the perspective that it's the man that can abuse. So and we all been able to hear on this call that it's not even just in an heterosexual relationship. You can have it in same-sex relationship and you would still see people abusing each other. What we're going to do now, before we go to the Q&A, just the disclaimer that we shared earlier, we understand that this is triggering. We've sought permission from Abigail before recording, and we are happy to put this recording on our YouTube page. So now I'm going to stop recording so that we can go into the Q&A session. So to our friends that are going to watch this after now, we have to stop recording because we have to respect people's privacy and the fact that they are having to share something very private. We want to deal with this in a very careful and sensible manner. So I'm going to stop recording now.